You are right. The prince had no choice but to bring her to the king like that. When she appeared before him, the king wondered why she was a ramshackle fellow. After listening to her, the king was so pleased and commanded the guards to bring her mother to the palace. She and her mum were given a place to live in. The king decided to take care of her and her mum as sign of his gratitude. He wanted her good influence around his son, and also to help the poor widow and her child. The new school year was going to begin soon, and the entire school was going to be shocked to find the new Jennifer. She was dwelling with royalty and was going to be driven to school with the prince on a ride. While Micah and her friends were bitterly waiting to disgrace her during the new school year, plotting to make her quit school and persuade the prince from liking her, Jennifer never knew her foes were plotting evil against her. Holiday was over and a new school year started. While Micah and her friends stood not far from the royal car about to drop the prince, to their amazement, he was not alone in the royal jeep. He was accompanied by a pretty lady wearing a well-fitted uniform. It ignited their jealousy, wondering who she could be, and were shocked when they found that she was Jennifer. The son of von Bandler the billionaire, who just enrolled in the school for his first time, caught sight of Jennifer and immediately started developing a soft spot for her. Micah, who thought she had gotten his attention, was furious. Jennifer is with the prince, as if it is not enough. Bandler Jr., the billionaire's son, couldn't take his eyes off her. What do she have that I don't? Her wrath was unbearable as she swore to make Jennifer quit. While they were in class, Junior Bandler could stop gazing at her. It was clear indication had fallen in love with her. He was that kind of guy who never took a no for an answer. The prince had not opened up to Jennifer. She loved him, but he never said anything to her. She waited on him to ask her for a date, but he instead treated her like a brother. She tried to make him notice her affection for him, but the prince never opened up. The more he found her attractive, he tried to kill the feelings for her. While Junior Bandler was getting acquainted to her and making himself familiar, she was not smart enough to read his mind because his friendship made her to reduce the excess fantasy she had for the prince. Junior Bandler was not ready to waste his time. Micah and her friends were planning to use it and destroy her relationship with the prince, because they knew how to make Bandler break her heart. They knew he was a playboy and dating the bad boy was in their plot. He was probably going flatter her with money, then used her and dumped. They encouraged him to lure her on his bed. Micah made friends with Junior Bandler, who had probably slept with her. She wanted to get back at Jennifer by helping the bad guy to sleep with her, to use it and discredit her before the king and his son. Micah sent one of the girls in her crew known as Bertilla to pretend to be Jennifer's friend so as to persuade her to accept Junior Bandler's proposal. Bertilla told her, "He is the son of the richest man in this town, he is handsome and loves you. Do you see the way he looks at you? I am confused because I long for someone who doesn't want to open up. But I will think of it." Jennifer decided to open up to the prince. "Junior Bandler is really pestering me to go out with me, but I don't like him at all. What do I do?" "I don't know, you are mature enough to make your choice, but my prince, will you not be bothered if I go out with another man? You know we have come a long way. If my father could see that, I am betrothed, though I like you, but that is tradition. I will still speak to my father. But I know he will decline. Should I date Junior Bandler? Follow your heart, it might lead you to destiny." The prince left without uttering another word, while Jennifer stood there stranded, wondering if she was going to follow his heart, his conscience, or reality. It was obvious, she was never going to be with the prince. So she had to make hay while the sun was shining. Bertilla was persuading her to date Junior Bandler. Her heart was yearning for the prince who was betrothed to Ano the girl. The dirty schoolgirl had become a center of attraction and was faced with a dilemma that was hard to sort. Junior Bandler had decided to ask her out as Micah stood behind him. Their aim was to prove to the prince that she was a bitch. Junior Bandler wanted her by all cost. It was like a challenge to him for a girl to turn him down. The son of a billionaire. He went to Jennifer in the presence of Bertilla and asked, "Please just give me a chance, and I will prove myself to you. Will you be my girlfriend? I sincerely love you, just tell him yes." Bertilla persuaded Jennifer. She stood quiet for a while and said reluctantly, "I will think about it." "Okay, I will take it for a yes," Junior insisted, but she was not ready for any relationship. It was not long when the guy tried to sleep with her and she turned him down. I am not sure I have accepted to date you and you already want to sleep with me. I cannot do that, so you are refusing me because of the prince. Don't you know he is engaged? He is deceiving you. He have been sleeping with you, right? I want you to be my girl. He keeps his virgin wife as tradition demands and have fun with you. Your imaginations are vague. He is a gentleman, no problem. He sleeps with the woman I want and preserve his own. I am going to break his heart too. Jennifer never knew what Junior Bandler was plotting within his heart. She didn't know why he was threatening to break the heart of the prince. She later asked the prince why he was betrothed to another girl, and was informed that according to tradition, she was a virgin who was going to be his wife, prepared from her teenage age, and he couldn't go against the tradition of the land. Except if she was defied by another man, she was going to marry the prince. Jennifer was disappointed but didn't blame the prince because his father the king had given her and her mother a better life, but Junior Bandler was up to a mishap. No one could read the malice in his heart, he was surely plotting evil. Junior Bandler, the son of billionaire Bandler, went against the norms of the land and secretly dated the prince betrothed. He was avenging the fact that Jennifer denied him and even reminded the prince that the royal bride was mature to make her choice. Her relationship with the prince got soured because he learned that Junior had slept with her. The prince was disappointed with Remke, who lose her self-esteem. Remke claimed that she was in love with Junior and was fed up with the traditional protocol that had made her a puppet. Junior had promised to take her round the world and truly went abroad for a secret adventure with her. The two matured lovers claimed they loved each other. Junior Bandler was doing this to get back at the prince. Their controversy went viral as the billionaire's son boasted of snatching the fiancée of the prince. The prince confronted his father the king, who promised to bring back his runaway bride, who had followed her heart and went away with her rich handsome charmer. She liked flashy things and wanted to be happy. It was her first love because she was made to believe that she was born to marry a prince she never loved, and her attitude changed when she fell in love with Junior Bandler. The prince, still hoping she was going to come back, finally waited in vain till the king had no choice but accepted for the very first time that Remke had defied the traditional setup that had existed for centuries. The prince was stranded and finally found consolation in the arms of the woman he cared for. Jennifer was the only one he had a soft spot for and decided to follow his heart, but he was still afraid that his father could deny her peasant background. When he went to him and said, "Father, I found the woman I love so much and want to marry. Who is she?" "She is Jenny, the girl who taught me the magic of success. Then bring her home, my son." Prince Banboy had to use the ploy that the king wanted to meet Jennifer and decided to open up to her. "My dear Jenny, my father wants both of us to come before him." "What for?" She was surprised and thought he was toying with her feelings, but the prince went straight to the point. "Okay, let me open up. The truth is that I had loved you from the very beginning. I came searching for you, but the tradition got me stuck up with Remke. But now that she just rub her dignity on the mud, my father wants to see the both of us. I have been looking for a day like this, and what precisely is your point?" She was curious and he tried to clarify. "I love you so much, this feeling is killing me slowly. Please Jenny, will you be my princess? I don't need to be your princess, even if you were a hunter or a commoner, it won't change my affection for you. I will still be glad to be your wife. In fact, I feel like I can jump and touch the stars on the sky. Please, I will take you to my father. Will you follow me? You know it is a favor for the king to invite me to the palace again. I will be glad to be your companion, my prince." They were worried if the king was going to accept for her to marry the prince. No one knew what was on the king's mind. He was a man of few words, but his utterances were unchangeable. He never went back on his words, and his decisions were final. He was never hasty making his decisions. That is why when he was about to make a statement, the whole palace trembled. So the two destined lovers were planning to go meet the king to find out what was their fate. Was he going to stop their relationship or bless them? For no one could oppose him, even his son. When they met the king, he was glad to bless them as husband and wife. He even told Jennifer, "You will make a good queen, my daughter. You have the qualities of a mother who can lead." For the first time in the kingdom, tradition had failed and love had conquered. Jennifer became the princess when she married the prince, and with no doubt she was a future queen. When the king died some years later, Prince Banboy and his wife became the reigning rulers of the kingdom. During their reign, the royal family was blessed. Micah and her crew ended up disappointed and were the only ones who spoke against the royal family. Micah couldn't withstand being ordered by Jennifer and exiled herself from the kingdom. But as it is said, the rejected cornerstone became the selected one. Once more they left a legacy of good leadership, for their children were brought up in a God-fearing manner and they were the first royal couples in that land that blessed their wedding before the altar of God. The difference was that the king had to carry his throne to the church, though some people were asking the Catholic priest why he honored him as such. And the priest told them, "We are born prophets, priests and kings. And our leaders are ordained by God. He is not here because he is above God, he is just honoring God with his throne." It shows how much he honors God. No one had another opinion, even those who had grumbled within their hearts. Their leadership showed an example of people who could lead people, not those who commanded. Though their story is not ended, but let me end the story from here. The most important part of it, moral lessons, has been told.